What up, y'all? It's the Mental Ninja. I'm back. I just tried to live stream. They say my channel don't meet the requirements and shit. That means that I guess that nigga, I ain't really doing shit. I ain't worthy to come to the fucking get off the bench yet. They won't even let me dress out in the game yet, so it's all good. But the fuck I'm looking for ashtray. Oh, it's up there. So I actually fucking hit the other button on the recording thing, and now it's doing a different kind of recording. So I hope this loads directly onto Facebook and save me some fucking upload time. So last video I was kind of on a little flat earth rant, talked about a little bit about some religion, talking about inconsistencies and shit, and getting people to question shit, a couple of jokes and stuff, you know. Shout out to all my viewers. Shout out to Bro Sanchez, bro. I really appreciate everything you be doing. It was fun to be on the live chat today, man. I learned a lot today too, man. When you post that picture with Trump in the Oval Office and shit, I just seen shit like I seen I don't know, the reflection. I seen the number. I seen the symbolism and shit. I looked at the whole design, the whole setup, and it just didn't seem like something like some officer, somebody's in there doing work. It just seemed like a really, even if you got cleaning people and shit, that shit really did seem like a fucking studio, dog. Like it was just there for filming shots. You know, another thing too, Trump be signing these fucking new bills into effect in Congress. And what that nigga do, that nigga, I swear to God, like he had a menu book from a fucking restaurant. He just write his name on the bottom and shit. You know, they had like 2-3 paragraphs and shit. And they were like, yeah, well, he just signed it. He's, nigga, that's, yeah. When we see the Declaration of Independence, we see the Constitution and all the signers on that shit, we automatically assume, again, boom, that this is another version of that. They're signing some shit like they did before. Like, we're taught that. And it's all to get us used to seeing this shit, to being okay with this shit, because truthfully, they can't do what they doing if we ain't showing up. It's all about ratings, you know what I'm saying? Like my channel, I can't do certain things, like I get certain ratings, get certain fucking amounts of subscription and shit where it's benefits to them. So that same rule that they're using is the same rule that we kind of use too. There's like no reason to do, you know, if you're gonna open a restaurant, you're gonna open a business and shit, and nobody's showing up, why the fuck you open the business and shit? It's all about bringing, if you build it, they will come. So what they're doing, these power elect, these elite, they're just doing the shit we should be doing. Tell you the truth, they just doing the shit I should be doing, the shit that I am doing. I'm learning their skills, they trade and shit, and I'm implementing that shit in my own fucking life. It's simple, you know. So one thing I do want to talk about, I'll probably just be jumping all over the place and stuff, man, until I get used to doing the live streams. And how I got a little list of topics and shit, you know. Well, I might do the deck of cards and shit in a minute, but anyway, I might do that on another video. I go back over my the way I break it down, so I don't fucking give out some fucked up information that looks stupid. But so with the government, right, and indoctrination, I'm gonna say this. Everybody remembers that story from world history. I'm assuming that you do. I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down the cherry tree. I believe that was George Washington, right? Or Abraham Lincoln, one of the two. The whole premise of that, I think it is George Washington. I'll look it up, but I'm on film. So let's say, okay, so I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down the cherry tree. It's a president that said that shit, a famous president. I'm pretty sure it's George Washington. Pretty sure, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. And the whole reason that we're taught that shit in school is so that we never question the government. You see where I'm going with that shit, right? Because George Washington's on every dollar bill. He's got a big ass thing. We know what they did. We know that the founding fathers cannot do what? Tell a lie. They chopped down the cherry tree, right? Then the whole cherry tree could be the tree in the center of the, you know, the tree in the garden. It could be all this fucking other shit, you know what I'm saying? You can run with it any kind of way you want. And that's the beauty of like being a double thinker, about weighing two ideas against each other and stuff, you know, and balancing each thought with its opposition, because the marriage of the two is destruction of illusion and shit. It's alchemy. It's real fucking alchemy. I talked about my one video about what alchemy is with the mind and shit. And like, you are the fucking Sorcerer's Stone. You are the fucking King Midas and shit. I am. It's my thoughts. I can change the way I perceive something and be totally free from the nature of that perception as it deals with my thought process, because there's a lot of stuff that comes into my view that I have perceptions of that really limit, constrict, and fucking negate me from growing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You know what I'm saying? I smoke cigarettes still. I know it's unhealthy, but like, crisis precipitates change and stuff. And I'm looking for that fucking positive spark. It's like, man, you know, it's time. It's time to drop these things and stuff. So I'm a work in progress. I'm pretty sure that you got your own little things that's in your life that you want to eliminate and stuff. And the only way we're going to do it is like working together, man, seeing other people doing it in their own life. And like, hey, man, what did you do to get it done? You're like, well, I did this, that, and the other thing. Like, well, maybe that's something I can try. The only thing that you need to know really is that it's possible. That's like the biggest fucking thing. Faith without works is dead. If you don't believe me, you can lock yourself in a motherfucking closet and then pray your ass off for a hot dog and see how far you get. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one of the things I want to talk about with the government and shit. And since we were doing a lot, you know what? Let me see what I got in this little fucking thing I could talk about real quick. Oh, here we go. So we're talking about mine and all right, so I'm gonna go into the Bible, all right? And any of my fellow Thelemites tune into this shit, or if you're a Thelemite on the OTO and shit, you know, and I know like one of the pervading thoughts and, you know, I've experienced is like, oh, we're completely against Christianity and religion and shit. It's like, yeah, kind of. Crowley wasn't against that shit. He was against how they fucking used it and how it made people. What kind of people it made into people. Their character and shit is fucking religious, condemning, and fucking judgment and bias and hateful, really ungodly, unloving godly type shit. You know, and he seen the fucking truth in these books and was like angry that they were kind of like misrepresenting these beautiful fucking books of science and shit. So when I talk about a beautiful book of science, I'm gonna go right into Exodus. And of course, like, I'm hoping to build with Brother Sanchez. He can like really show me how he does these videos because they're fucking amazing. It's like something I really like. And I really want to learn that craft and shit and do it for myself and shit, you know. But of course, I have to learn from other people, and it's a beautiful thing that I'm able to be teachable these days. Because if I'm to learn the mysteries of the universe, man, I think I should be worthy for that shit. I think I should be made a worthy candidate, and that means I might have to question everything I already know, or will be willing to revisit things I think I know if they're right or wrong, or how I can look at them from a different perspective and still keep them as good and make them better, useful tools for building, and better material and shit, better mortar and shit, like this construction shit, these Masonic terms and shit, right? So in Exodus, there's a famous story of Moses, right? And the Pharaoh, okay? Now, this is pretty dope because this is what I found. So what Moses does is he gets sent back to Pharaoh to free the people, you know, let my people go, the Jews, right? And I'm not banging on the Jews and like that, and I'm going to say this right now. If you get mad about it, it's okay. I totally understand. It was kind of a critical, I don't say critical, it wasn't like a really fun thing to think about when I was reinterpreting the Bible or reading it from. I read the Bible when I do read it from the perspective is if I'm reading about myself. I take everybody's name out, put my own name in there, and there's a reason why. I also read it as if I'm experiencing these things in a modern age, in my own mental modern sense. So it gives me the ability to scrutinize certain things like flying shit in the sky, to look at like, okay, these winged beings and shit, like winged white people and shit. I have nothing against white people. My girlfriend's white. My kid is mixed. I love white girls. So I love white people. I love you white people. Mwah. I love my girl more. I love my son the most. So yeah, I put my name in place of the person I'm reading about. So as Moses is now the mental ninja. You know, as Pharaoh is now the mental ninja. So now this is gonna be pretty cool. I found this useful. So Moses he's sent by God to go to Pharaoh in Egypt. I believe it's Ramses II or Ramses I, one of them, and to free this Jews. Oh, the part that I said that you might not like is this shit never fucking happened. Fucking that's how dare you say that the things in the Bible never happened. There's a lot of shit in the Bible that never fucking happened. They're stories, they're allegories, they're metaphors to explain things that we encounter in our daily life and suffer and not know why. It'd be probably better to be dead, be born, never been born at all, so miss out on this fucking beauty and shit. So I'm dropping fucking straight jewels, nigga. I got me a little treasure chest. I keep it stashed in the dojo, nigga. And every once in a while, I throw jewels and shit, nigga. Diamond tip motherfucking razor cutting ninja stars and shit. And my nunchucks are solid gold, nigga. I'll split your motherfucking dome open with these bitches, nigga. That's the mental ninja shit, right? So he goes to fucking, and the reason I say it doesn't exist is because there's no archaeological proof within the Egyptian history, record keeping of hieroglyphics and all that stuff, that shows there was a 400-year occupation, slavery of Jews. However, they do have records of a caste system or caste system, C-A-S-T-E, classism of a worker force that had their own lodging, they had their own food processing, farming abilities. They have their own education systems, their own religious practice systems. They also have their own doctors and shit. That was a separate class from the priest class or the priesthood, from the military class, from the kingship, the pharaoh class. So it's actual, they're all working systems. Never do we find a bunch of people that were just like fucking slaves, like niggas and fucking American slaves. And I'm gonna do something about that too. I might even do that right now after I talk about this. So Moses goes to fucking Israel, to Egypt to free the slaves, right? To free the Jews. Now, keep in mind this is an allegory. Keep in mind when we're talking about this, you become Moses, so I'm Moses, and you also become the Pharaoh, all right? And also Aaron and all the people involved. You play each part in this grand story. You play the main character of each, and also the supporting cast. So he goes to fucking Egypt to free the fucking people. God has sent them. The God of the Jews, Yahweh, has sent him. Was it Yahweh that time? I think it was. Yahweh has sent them. Tell them that I am has sent you. So I mean, I guess I'm kind of on it. I'm saying I'm the one who's talking about this story. I'm the Moses going there. So who's me? I am that I am, right? And you are that you are, which is an I am too. And so he goes to Egypt. He meets up with Pharaoh, which is his homeboy and shit that he came up with and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because he left out in the fucking little wood river and stuff in the basket. And, you know, the Pharaoh's wife picked him out the fucking thing and, you know, raised him and shit. He became close to the other Pharaoh kid and shit, Ramses II. And they were like brothers and shit. And he killed somebody and, you know the story. Anyway, so he's in Egypt. He pops up, this nigga like homeless looking. This nigga like he just came from Boulder Highway and shit, right? And he like all in like these tattered rags and no shoes and shit with a staff. He's like, you know, Pharaoh, it's your brother, your long lost brother, fucking Moses. I can't deliver a message. I've had to change my life. You know, the God of these people that you got kept in captivity, building these pyramids and temples for you, you got to let these motherfuckers go, man. He wants them back. Pharaoh was like, man, fuck you, nigga, and fuck your God, nigga. What can your God do? So they do the little battle and shit. The Moses against the priest class and shit. The priest class operates with these very intricate, you know, magic with a C, magical, M-A-G-A-I-C, performances to wow the crowd and shit. However, Moses come with this real magic with a K, M-A-G-I-C-K, which is the science and art and of causing change and conformity with will. And remember, this guy's been, you know, sent by the great I Am. So he's operating from a different perspective than these parlor trick little priest class magicians and shit. So they do a little duel and shit, right? You know, Moses wins and shit every time Moses wins and shit. And that's not enough for the Pharaoh to see that shit. Remember, I'm Pharaoh too. So I'm really stubborn. I really ain't fucking with this dude. I got this good ass life. I'm king of this whole shit. I don't hear nothing some fucking beggar ass nigga got to say. They used to be, damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? And here comes this nigga, what happened to you, nigga, coming up trying to tell me what to do. I'm the motherfucking king now, nigga. You shouldn't have left, homie. You bounced on me. I was your boy and shit, you know? So they meet up again, you know, Pharaoh in the fucking water. So I'm just gonna keep the story short, is that Pharaoh does not want to let the people go. Let my people go. Pharaoh says no. So by Pharaoh holding on to all these people, by me holding on to all these people, all this bad shit starts happening. First is fucking, you know, the river, my main river that supports my whole fucking economy, my whole ecosystem, my whole fucking agriculture, my whole fucking, you know, my whole civilization turns into fucking blood and shit. You know what I'm saying? Due to me not letting these people go. You know what I'm saying? And on top of after that, you know, I'm still not willing. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not going to bow down. After that bad shit happens. And it's bad. You know what I'm saying? People are freaking out on some coronavirus shit. You know what I'm saying? And then the next thing is all these frogs and shit. It's pestilence and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they come and the fucking cattle start dying. And all of a sudden, the fucking crops start dying and shit. And every time something happens, I'm like, nah, nigga, I ain't fucking with you, beggar ass nigga, and your beggar ass God, nigga. I'm still king. I'm still Pharaoh, nigga. I got my fucking crown, nigga, and it's still clean, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't speak like me and you like when I speak like really intellectual and stuff, When I'm telling stories, I do like a hood personality. So just bear with me and enjoy the show, right? So I'm here to entertain. I ain't no guru. I'm just a mental ninja. I'm just here to entertain and shit and do my performance and shit on some It Man shit, right? So all these bad things start happening. Pharaoh does not let these people go because for one, Pharaoh doesn't have to. For two, he's Pharaoh. He owns these people. And for three, if somebody else tell Pharaoh what to do, that don't make Pharaoh Pharaoh. That make Pharaoh somebody who get told what to do, which ain't a Pharaoh. Pharaoh tell niggas what to do. Niggas don't tell Pharaoh what to do. Like Pinky, nigga. Say something else, nigga. Say something else. So, there's blood water. There's the frogs. There's the crops and the cows and the cattle dying and shit. And then there's fire and brimstone, like real chaotic fucking holocaustic type end of the world shit. The whole civilization is freaked out. The agriculture been hit, the economy getting hit, the motherfucking actual physical buildings getting hit and shit. And every time Moses tell Pharaoh to let the people go, Pharaoh's like, no, right? Then the ultimate thing to hit Pharaoh is what we know was the Passover when God's like, I'm going to smite every firstborn son out of Egypt, and it'll be a cry that's never going to be ever heard again. You know what I'm saying? Which is also symbolic to the Christian context or the Christian chain of events or their template, you know, with this first son shit, you know, murder of babies and stuff, which is like a fucked up idea. And it's a good thing to know that this shit never happened. There was not a fucking day when all the babies in fucking Egypt just died and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, but they're talking about something. They're definitely talking about something, all right? So they do the blood on the wall and the doorpost and shit, the angel of death, Uriel, U-R-I-E-L, which is my son's name. That's where I got my son's name. It means a lot of other things too. Snatches every fucking firstborn Egyptian baby and stuff, you know, and the Jews protected themselves by this blood, this covenant, this marking and shit. It protected them and shit. So it's kind of showing that there's something about this blood, something about this spotless lamb and shit that's protecting them. And these are all scientific allegories, astrotheology, and fucking also physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional alchemy and science that they're talking about, okay? And I'm going to get into that. So all the firstborn babies die. Pharaoh's fucking son's dead. The heir to the throne's dead. He's like, he comes to Moses like, man, look, take these motherfuckers. Take these motherfuckers and go. Get the fuck out of here. You guys have brought nothing but pain and misery to my fucking people. But really, it was him. When he started suffering, then shit got real, you know. So Moses take the people, they all leave. And then Pharaoh sitting in the fucking house, bitter as fuck, hating as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He on some Rico shit from Belly. He in the window, like eating a banana, talking about, I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit at all. I'm about to drop the dime on the niggas. They rally up the whole military and chase after these motherfuckers. And he finally catch up to them. Then the sea parts. And that's another very important allegorical science, you know what I'm saying, of the sea, parting of the sea, which is very beautiful. And they escape through that. And then the sea closes in on Pharaoh and his army. All right. So that's the story. Now, I'm going to de-occult this story and de-occult the spiritual, emotional, mental sciences and sciences of this and the alchemical science of this, okay? After I light my motherfucking cigarette, nigga. All right, so remember, Moses is you, Pharaoh is you. Now, we're just going to focus on Pharaoh. You're Pharaoh. I'm Pharaoh, right? Now, Pharaoh is my mind. Get it? Pharaoh is my mind, the way I process shit. And all the people in all these slaves I got building my temples and cleaning my houses and working and slaving for me are all the people that I fucking just don't like. They're all resentments of all the fucking people that I still hold in my head. And I got those motherfuckers working because they fucked up. They slaves in my head, building my temples in my head, farming my fields, cleaning my fucking houses, doing this, doing that. They're expendable. Fucking hate these people. That's why I got them in prison inside my head in their resentments, okay? And they're my resentments because I'm fucking Pharaoh. Nobody tells Pharaoh what to do. I tell them niggas what to do. They shouldn't have came to my motherfucking head. They shouldn't have done me wrong. They should have done this or whatever the reason I have that there's resentment in my head. If it's resentment, if it makes me mad, and every time I think about it, it pisses me off, that's a slave. But really, who's the slave? Because really, who's dependent on who? I'm dependent on the nature of the resentment. I'm dependent on them to build my temples in my head. Get it? So, you know, life starts, Moses shows up as life. And these resentments are causing actual effects in my life. They're causing effects, unfavorable effects in my workplace. With resentments I have with people in my workplace. They're having unfavorable effects in my home life with people in my house I have resentments with. In my family life with people in my family I have resentments with. Usually it's mom and dad or a sister or a brother, right? It's causing effects in my spiritual life at church or in the world, in the area of my faith, because people that I might have resentments with of my faith. It may even be the faith itself. It may be the clergyman, the priesthood in this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's causing effects in every aspect of my life. Frogs, bloody water, fucking fire and brimstone, and the firstborn, right? It's causing disruption of my own child. With my thought patterns, my behaviors. These resentments are physically affecting the nature of the universe around me in a bad, bad, bad way. And the thing is that I am unwilling to let go of all these resentments because I'm Pharaoh, they mines, right? Without all this bad stuff happening. So finally, I lose something really important to me. A good, healthy relationship with a job, that's the firstborn. Or with your family, that's the firstborn. Or with your own child, that's the firstborn. With your faith, that's the firstborn. In my case, it was myself. Drugs and alcohol, straight up. Prison, jail, homelessness, all that fucking shit, right? So eventually, you know, all these situations are telling me, they're signaling to me by a higher power, you know, higher intelligence, to let these resentments go. And I refuse to let these motherfuckers go. And then finally, I'm like, all right, man, y'all can go. Get out of my fucking head. I'm going to free y'all from my pain, from my misery, from my suffering. So I got you guys in bondage. And all these resentments go. I admit them all and shit. And then I'm like, but not you, and you. I go chase nap these motherfuckers into my doom. That's what the story's telling us, man. The Bible is a story about you. The Quran is a story about you. The book of the law is a story about you. The Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata, the Voltan, that's what it's called? The Vulgate, you know what I'm saying? The Papu Vol, the Book of Mormon, it's all books about you. Not some fantastic fucking flying ass nigga elf, some Gandalf ass wizard nigga and shit, or some fucking English fucking, you know, British speaking fucking Israel guy. I was born in fucking right next to Egypt. It's a Middle Eastern English speaking dude. No, it's you. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. So when you look at the Bible, just realize that it's talking about you. When you put your name in these stories and look at it from a true perspective, like what you know now, you'll know that ain't gonna be no flying fucking bitches and fucking Rascast said, nah, I ain't never seen a virgin bitches with halos. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You know people don't walk on water. You know that shit. You know that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, nigga come running, playing football on top of the ocean. Smear the queer and shit. You know what I'm saying? The closest nigga to be walking on some shit was Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan. That Michael Jordan walked on the air and Michael Jackson fucking moonwalked. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that one. So I'm going to stop this real quick. I'm going to keep going. See my phone battery looking like. All right. So breaking de-occulting Revelations. Ooh, I'm going to go on one part of this. All right. So Revelations has the one thing that is the one of the toughest books to understand. You know, it's not really understood. It's not understood in the Bible fields, in the churches, in the pastor don't know what the fuck he's talking about because he ain't fucking looking. The preacher don't know what the fuck he's talking about because he ain't understanding, and the fucking priest don't know what the fuck he's talking about because he ain't understanding. The only way they use the revelations is to scare you. That's the only reason it's used, is to scare you, not to uplift you, to tell you that you'll be safe and they'll be fucking going to hell. Or actually, the preachers are always the safe ones. And everybody else are the ones that you better question and shit what their motives, what their agenda is, because you don't want them to fuck you up and get you sent to hell, which is a place that you'll be, you die when you go to hell. Before you go to hell, you're gonna die, and then when you're in hell, you're gonna be burned alive. Yeah, that doesn't make no sense to me either. But so Revelations and the four horsemen. You probably have read research about astrotheology. So I'm not like the one that's coming up with this information. This information I've realized myself and also heard from other people and other sources and shit. I'm just bringing it to you here because this may be the only way you're getting exposed to it without doing the immense massive research that I've done. You know, and I'm not saying you can't do it. You may not know where to start. Just start wherever you can start. Start reading books. Start YouTube and shit. You know, that's how I found Brother Sanchez and shit, man. And he does the same thing. Like, he's brought so much information to me that I couldn't fucking found on my, I was like, without having a source or to be exposed to, you know? I mean, let's get the statistics here. Not one of us owns a fucking poppy field. Uzis ain't made in Harlem. That kind of shit. That part. So, you have the four horsemen. There is a white horse, is the first horse. And matter of fact, I'm gonna grab my Bible so I can go through it with y'all. You grab your Bible too. Now, just because I have a Masonic Bible, when you look up the shit I'm reading, you're gonna find the same shit in your Bible, even if it has square and compass or not. It doesn't mean I'm reading from some evil fucking, you know, Dr. Evil plan to fucking build a fucking laser. It's just a fucking book. It's a beautiful book of science. So, I'm in Revelations. Now I gotta find this shit. I'm fucking Googling this shit. You might have to give me a second. Give me 1 second. Or just fast forward, because you'll be able to fast forward at this point. My bad, y'all. I kind of came unprepared to jump into this shit, but I'm finding it soon. Just scanning, looking for keywords. And that shit'll jog my memory, and I'll know that's where I'm there. I'm getting close. I'm getting warmer. You know what? I might have to fucking stop this video, then find it, and then start it back up again. Cause I ain't fucking trying to bullshit y'all niggas. And I ain't trying to look stupid, but guess what? I'm feeling kind of fucking silly right now. Yeah, I'm gonna end this and jump back on. Peace.